Morning. So for my daily video contribution for the culture proof this morning, I'm gonna get something off my chest. I'm just gonna talk about free trade, the freight industry, and go into a little bit more depth on paper circles that I brought up last night. I think free trade is not really essential to a country's success because nowadays, you know what? To me, free trade, from what I read, from what I read, is that free trade is about restocking the resources that a company can't manufacture for itself. So I modern day and age, I think what is better than free trade is low cost freight or more efficient logistics, and that's not really supply management. So I was checking into the difference between the freight industry and the airline industry, which a lot of us rattle our brains as why can't freight function like airlines? You know how you buy airline ticket and make connections, and it's different planes that will carry you all the way to your destination, carry you back. It's not the same company, it's not the same, it's not their same plane. Well, I looked at the difference between the airline industry and the freight industry, and there's one significant difference. The Airline Industry Association is geared towards the customer, making sure the passenger, right, get there in a safe environment, has a pleasant experience. That's the airline industry. When you look at the freight industry, it's more focused on the same things, but for the employees, the workers in that industry, right? So the airline industry, right, when you look at their association, it's with an aim towards the passenger getting there safely. When you look at the freight industry, it's with the aim of getting the trucker there and back safely. Now, if you look in practice, right, the staff of the airline back safely with the passenger. You understand? Even though you're focused on the passenger's safety and comfort, the airline staff come and go with the passenger. Anything happens to the passenger, most likely the same thing will happen to the staff. You get it? Here is focused on the staff. I think if you one of the first things, if freight, they say freight is so fragmented, the industry, the business, and sometimes like you need the same driver to go from Canada all the way to Mexico, right? Whereas with airlines, the passengers disembark, they connect, they take a different plane, all this stuff, right? Back and forth, right? One of the differences, where's the focus on the custom? And you'll say, well, we always deliver on time. That's not the point. It's just like my idea about paper circles. Ideas change how you look at the world. You know what I mean? It's like in practice, airline industry delivers both passenger and worker safely. In the freight, if the worker gets there, then the freight will get there safely. But if you change it around, it's probably the same thing. The freight gets there safely. Just like the airline industry. I think that's the first place to start. And maybe that's the first place to start. Whatever happens, that is sort of like industry wide. Sky's the limit. I really don't know. But to solve the dilemma of fractured, one guy has to drive all the way across the continent, up and down, instead of just connecting, going home. When I take planes, I noticed something about and these stewardesses. It's really just an 8-hour shift, isn't it? It's an 8-hour shift from connections, or even from one destination to the other one. It's really just an 8-hour shift. Maybe they might do 2 trips in 8 hours. But at the day, it's an 8-hour shift, just like at an office. It's just a regular work environment, 8-hour shifts. Only freight got to go like maybe a week with beds and stuff. It's crazy, right? When you want, or like buses, Greyhounds, they ensure the safety of the passenger, and the driver goes along with the passenger. Passenger gets there safely, driver gets there safely. Airline, passenger gets there safely, stewardess and pilot gets there safely. Only in a freight, they focus on the driver getting there safely. Maybe they gotta switch it around. Just like the Greyhound, just like the airline. And that's how maybe you can start connecting. It's just like Greyhound, right? I ride Greyhound too. It's only 8-hour shifts. And then like from here to Syracuse, I get off, a different guy goes on, all this stuff. So that's the main difference between the airline industry and other industries. And maybe that's why they're so fragmented. And to elaborate on paper circles, paper circles is not shopping. So when I say, a lot of people are like, oh, it's so bullshit, you never get what you want. It's not shopping. When you send out, like, say, a job application, when I send out a website application to an organization, it's not shopping. I'm not shopping. That's what they get is not really money. Let's say you're about to go to college, about to go to university, send out a college or university application. It's not shopping. It's more like team recruiting. Like, are you Messi? Messi, excellent soccer player. Are you like Ronaldo of university, of grades? It's not shopping. So you do it. If you did good for the day, you can expect good back. But it might not be like Harvard. It might be like the state university, which isn't bad, but you know what I mean. A lot of people think these things are like shopping. It's not shopping. I mean, let's say I get onto Common Sense Media with City Wellness Atlas, right? It's like, oh, that's no good. It's not like you didn't get a write-up in Forbes magazine. It's like, it doesn't matter. It's not shopping, right? And it's actually, at the end of the day, the team that picks you, or what, I call it a team, the team that picks you will probably be the better fit for you. A lot of people try to bend themselves out of shape just to get onto like the hot team of the day, the hot platform of the day. So paper circle is really not about shopping. So if you don't get into an Ivy League school, you probably get into a state school, but still, it's not shopping. It's still good. It's not shopping. These things aren't shopping. So that's the idea of paper circle. What else? That's it. So my idea of free trade is not really essential in this modern day and age. And if it's so like done, and it's not required, it creates all waste in society. And then what's better is not supply management, but well, supply management is always strong, but not supply management, better freight industry. The biggest difference is between freight and other transportation, especially with people, is that other industries focus on delivering the passenger there and back safely, and the workers go along with it. You know, depart and arrive with the passenger. So everybody's safety is guaranteed. Whereas the freight only focuses on the driver, the pilot, you would say. It would be like if the airline industry said, we ensure the safety of our pilots, and then there's no mention of the passenger. that would be, it's like, well, if the pilot's safe, passenger's safe. No. These ideas, you take it and you just like, whoop, and the whole world's changed. So that's the biggest difference between Greyhounds and airlines and freight industry. That's why one trucker's got to drive straight from Canada to Mexico instead of like connecting, and just doing 8-hour shifts all the way down there. You know, 4 hours there, and then when you come back, you take something back with you for the last 4 hours. 8-hour shifts. It's impossible. But who you asking that's impossible? To be honest with you, because you know why? There's a guy doing 8 hours. He's like, you know, some people just like, it's possible. I know, I'm smarter than them. Whoever says impossible, I'm smarter. You know? What else? And paper circle. Paper circle is not shopping. Paper circle is like applying applications and just doing. If you did good for the day, you know, something good will come back. It's guaranteed. A lot of people say, I gotta have this. I gotta have it like this, like that, like that. And you know what happened, right? I think the biggest parable in real life right now is Marissa Mayer's career. You know, Yahoo paid her like over $100 million. That situation is a mess. Okay, let's say, I was thinking about this, right? If I was in Marissa Mayer's toe shoes, this is what happened. Yahoo, when she was at Yahoo, was total mess, right? The only thing she got left before Yahoo is Google. And you know what she did with Google? She totally slagged them. Really, the only good performance she ever had was at Google. She totally slacked it, and her time there is now kind of ruined. And yet, her time at Yahoo wasn't that good either. If you, as CEO of Yahoo, she's a public-facing figure. She's the worst CEO ever in corporate history. She got paid $187 million. That's less than a Super Bowl ticket. And yet, her whole career as CEO has been disaster. Got paid less than a Super Bowl ticket. All she got to go back to is her time at Yahoo. She shit on that time. She got nothing to go back to. Before Yahoo, like Stanford, like university. She was in university. Before Google, she was in university, right? She didn't even get her PhD. At Google, she totally shit on that time. She said it was terrible there. She said, you know, she didn't like it. It was no good. And then at Yahoo, the public said she was no good. Though she got paid $187 million, it's less than Super Bowl. It's not that great a situation. That's a real life parable. See you guys later.